Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Leadership Purpose with Dr. Robin podcast. As always, I'm so glad you're here and that you're listening into the podcast and that you helped us get ranked in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, according to Listen Notes. Really appreciate you for listening in. So I ask you to continue your support, rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. And in case I forget to say this at the end, follow me on LinkedIn. I really want you to see what I'm posting there that will help us all grow together. All right. So let's get started with today's episode. It's a solo episode. And I've always believed that stories connect us. So let me share one of mine. When I was a teenager, I made a promise to myself about the future direction of my life. I declared that I would always find work that aligned with my purpose. And while that might sound simple, it wasn't a declaration I made lightly. It all started with my mother. My mother had a dream. She wanted to be a teacher. She loved the idea of inspiring young minds, of making a difference in that way. But her family couldn't afford to send her to college. So she ended up working in a factory for 35 years, and she hated it. Growing up, I watched her come home from work exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally. She was so disconnected from what she truly wanted in her work life. I saw how that unfulfilled dream weighed on her. Over time, it led to depression and even physical health issues. As a teenager, I didn't have the words to describe what I was seeing, but I knew one thing for sure. I did not want that for myself. That's why when I was in high school, I promised myself that no matter what, I'd find purpose in my work. And I thought I'd have to figure it all out if I could just find my purpose. But here's the thing. I had no idea how hard it would actually be. For years, I went from job to job thinking this one will be it. This is the job, the role that will finally make me feel fulfilled. And for a while, some of those jobs did feel right, but eventually the same restless feeling would creep back in. Maybe you felt that way too, like you're meant for more, but you just can't put your finger on what's missing. I kept looking, searching, thinking the answer was out there somewhere. The perfect job, the perfect role, the perfect career. But no matter what, something still felt off. It wasn't until years later that I realized the truth. And this changed everything. True purpose isn't about a specific job, a specific title, or career. It's not something you find out there. Purpose is about being true to your authentic self. It's about knowing who you are at your core and expressing that truth through the decisions you make, the work you do, and the life you live. That realization was life changing for me. It freed me from the constant search. For a long time, I believed what so many of us have been told, that purpose is something you find. We're told it's out there waiting for us like a hidden treasure we need to discover. And once we do, everything will fall into place. The perfect job, the perfect life, the perfect version of ourselves. But here's the truth that I've learned. Purpose isn't something out there. It's not a destination. It's not tied to one job, one title, one career. Your true purpose is about being true to your authentic self. It's about knowing who you really are at your core and expressing that truth in everything you do. And your purpose is not static. It changes and evolves as you change and evolve. That was such a liberating realization for me because it meant I didn't have to keep searching for something outside of myself. I didn't have to find the perfect job or stick with one path forever. I could live in my purpose no matter where I was or what I was doing, as long as I stayed true to myself. Now, here's the tricky part. So many of us have spent years ignoring or suppressing our authentic selves. We've been taught to follow the rules, to meet the expectations, to be who the world wants us to be. And when you lose touch with your true self, it can feel impossible to reconnect with your purpose. That's why I am committed to helping women reconnect with their true purpose. Now, it takes intention, reflection, and a clear process, which I'll say more about later. And it's not about looking for a purpose to magically appear. It's about making purpose aligned decisions day by day in a way that keeps you grounded in who you really are. Now, I want to talk about something I've seen over and over again in the lives of high achieving women. But let me tell you first what I mean by high achieving women. They are women who are responsible, ambitious in a positive way. They're the ones people in their professional lives go to for advice. And at home in their communities, they're the ones people come to for guidance, support, advice. They're either the organizers, the problem solvers, the fixers, the keeper of secrets, or the holders of wisdom and more. And because they're good at so many things, they often find themselves carrying a huge weight of responsibility. They say yes to lots of things because they don't want to let anyone down. They push themselves to meet everyone's expectations, expectations from their bosses, their partners, their families, and even their younger selves. But here's the thing about high achieving women. While they look successful on paper, many of them feel a deep, nagging sense that something is missing. And they can't quite put their finger on what it is, but they know it's there. They might wonder, why don't I feel as fulfilled as I should? Why doesn't my success feel hollow? Why do I feel like I'm running on empty, even though I've checked all the boxes? For many high achieving women, the answer lies in the pressure to meet external expectations. These expectations are everywhere. They might come from society telling you to climb the corporate ladder, be the perfect mother, or have it all figured out by a certain age. They might come from your family, urging you to follow a particular career path or live up to a certain image. They might even come from within yourself, from the version of you that's afraid to disappoint others or admit what you really want looks different from what you've been pursuing and doing. And here's the result. Some high achieving women are so busy meeting everyone else's expectations that they just don't prioritize their own fulfillment. They lose sight of what they want, of what they need, and who they truly are. And when that happens, they disconnect from their true purpose. Now, that may resonate with you. Maybe you are yearning for more meaning and purpose in your life and work, but have no idea how to make that happen. You're balancing so many external expectations, being a leader at work, showing up for the family, saying yes to everything because you don't want to let anyone down. I know the struggle because I experienced it in my early life and career. And after talking to close to 200 women on this podcast, many have shared the same story. They resonate deeply with what I'm about to say. If you keep ignoring that restless feeling, it doesn't go away. It shows up in other ways. Feeling of unfulfillment, disconnected, like you're just going through the motion, like there must be more to life than this. There's an ache in your heart and soul yearning for more. But here's the good news. You don't have to live that way because what I believe with all my heart is you can be successful, ambitious, high achieving, and you can do it all while living in your true purpose. You don't have to choose one or the other. And when I realized that purpose wasn't about a job, a position, or career, but about being true to myself, I knew I couldn't keep that realization to myself. I spent months reflecting on my journey and everything I learned along the way. Then I started piecing together a process, a framework that could help other women find their purpose faster and with more clarity than I had ever experienced. That's how the Purpose Maker Method was born. It's a 10-step process I write about in my upcoming book, Becoming a Purpose Maker. which helps high achieving women reconnect with their authentic selves and start making decisions that align with their true purpose. It's not about quitting your job tomorrow or finding one perfect role, position, or career. It's about aligning your decisions with who you really are. And my book guides you to doing just that. It is designed to help you reconnect with your authentic self, make purpose aligned decisions, and finally feel the sense of fulfillment you've been yearning for. But here's the thing, although I'm sharing my story with you, this isn't just about me. It's not just about you. And it's not just about the women I've worked with so far. It's about all of us. I want to create a movement of 1 million purpose makers, women who know how to find and stay true to their purpose and wake up every day knowing they're making purpose aligned decisions, decisions that align with their authentic selves. Because when we do that, when we live in our purpose, we don't just change our own lives, we change the lives of the people around us. We show up differently in our families, in our workplaces, and in our communities. We set boundaries, we lead with clarity, and we inspire others to do the same. Imagine what the world would look like if millions of women lived with that kind of purpose and fulfillment. Imagine that. So, what's next? If you felt that tug, that feeling of something is missing or that you're meant for more, then I want to invite you to take the next step. First, I encourage you to just really reflect on this episode and then ask yourself, am I living in my true purpose? If not, what's one small change I can make today that will bring me closer to being my authentic self? And if you're ready for more than that, if you're ready to stop feeling unfulfilled and start living a life that's purpose aligned, follow me on LinkedIn and you'll be the first to know when I open the wait list for my book, Becoming a Purpose Maker. That's where I guide you through the steps of the Purpose Maker method and show you how to transform your life. Remember, you don't have to do this alone. We're creating a movement of women who are ready to live on purpose. And it's not just about what you'll get, it's about who you will become and the impact you'll make in your own life and the lives of others. So if you're ready to take action, head on over to LinkedIn and start following me there, and let's make this happen. And until next time, this is Dr. Robin.